Yeah, I'm gonna have to finish this because these phone calls keep calling in. But just let's look up Jasper and Sardine real quick, and then we'll close out, man. Because these phone calls keep coming in. I don't know. Jasper and Sardine Stone images. Oh, look at that. Would you look at that? Jasper and Sardis. Okay, that's what the Heavenly Father looks like. That's his complexion. That's ruddy right there. Look at those little Jake kids. Okay, that's Jasper and Sardine. Jasper and Sardine. All right. He who sat on the throne looked like a jasper and sardis. That's what the Heavenly Father looks like. Okay, that's a depiction. All right, so what do you think his kids look like? If this is what the Heavenly Father's complexion is, what do you think his children on the earth are going to look like? What do you think his son is going to look like? All right? One more if you ain't had enough yet. Let's go to the book of Daniel. I believe it's at the 7th chapter. What was that? Where was that? Might be Daniel chapter 10. Oh, Daniel 7 and 9. What the heck? I just missed it. This is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 9. It says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days, which is the Heavenly Father, and the Ancient of Days, that's another one of his titles, is the Ancient of Days, did sit on the throne. So basically, Daniel is seeing in Daniel 7 and 9, he's seeing the same image, the same being, the same person, which is the Heavenly Father. He's seeing him in a vision, all right? He's seeing him in the vision that is the same vision that John received in Revelation, the 4th chapter, in the 3rd verse. It says, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow. So he has a white garment on, and the hair of his head like the pure wool, woolly hair. That's an afro, by the way. It says, his throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. Okay, so the Heavenly Father has an afro. So what kind of pigmentation, complexion do you think he has? Oh, Mr. Tidwell, by the way, fun fact, this is what the Jews, Israelites, were called in Antioch. Let's get to verse 11. Acts 11. Oh, where was that? Where was it? I know I had that. It's not 11:11. Was it Acts 13? That's Acts 13. Slacky, y'all. Acts 13 in verse 1. It says, now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon. See, they're prophets, so that means they're Israelites, because the Lord said, what advantage had the Jew? What benefit is there in the circumcision that the Heavenly Father gave them unto them the oracles of God, which means in order to be an oracle or a prophet, you got to be an Israelite. So at the church that was at Antioch, certain prophets, right? So these are Israelites and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Nigger, and Lucius of Cyrene, and Menian, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul. So these are Israelites being called nigger, right? And if you don't believe me, all right, Romans 3 in verse 1. It says, what advantage then hath the Jew, or what profit is there in circumcision, of circumcision? Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of God. That's the prophets. Okay? Read in NIV, it says, much in every way. First of all, the Jews have been entrusted with the very words of God. So when you go to Acts and it says they're teachers and they're prophets, these are Israelites, Jews from the southern tribes. And they were called nigger. Let's get that. If you don't believe me, let's get this word, right? Why were the Jews called this? Let's see. The Jews were called
Strong's
what?
G 3526. Niger. Niger.
Hey, you heard it. And what does it mean? It means black. It means black. Right. Strong's definitions of Latin origin: black, nigger, a Christian. So the word Christian, which the original Christians were the Jews, the prophets, the Hamashiachim, the Hebrew Israelites that were following Yahushua. You see, in Israel in the ancient world, you had different sects, right? You have different sects of Israelites. You had the Pharisees, you had the Sadducees, you had the Sicarii. Another sect was called the Hamashiachim. In the Greek, Christian, right? That was just another name. It was a racial epithet. To call someone a Christian, the Christians, the original Christians, which were called Christians first at Antioch, that was a racial epithet. It was the same as calling them niggers. Okay? Calling them black. Okay? That's what it means, man. So Mr. Rich Tidwell, you're a liar. Okay? You're a liar. Because the Israelites were called
Strong's
what?
G 3526. Niger. Niger.
So you've got to explain to me how you so-called white Europeans are the Israelites. Because the Israelites are niggers, man. That's what they were known. That's what they were called. They were called Christians as a racial epithet. A racial derogatory term. That's what the word Christian is. That's where it comes from. Acts 11 and, was it 20? Was that 26? Yeah, Acts 11 and 26. And when he had found him, he brought him unto Antioch, the same place where the prophets, the Israelites, were called niggers. What else were they called at Antioch? And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people, and the disciples were called Christians first at Antioch. Christians first at Antioch. The disciples, Hamashiachim, the ones who followed Yahushua. These were Hebrew Israelites that were being called niggers. Okay? Now, of course, Esau will fuck up the definition here. Just know that the word Christian was a racial epithet. Okay? It was a derogatory term. Okay? Yeah, follower of Christ. We don't say Christ. It was Hamashiach. Okay? But that was what they said in the Greek. Okay? But the Christians were also called niggers. So you white Europeans,
but a common total genetic heritage.
Fuck you. Yeah, fuck you. I don't even want to listen to you anymore. I'm going to close out. All praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh.